Which day, I can't tell you exactly, but they're going to get approved. Whether anyone else does, I hope so, since I own pieces of two of the companies that are ahead of them in line. But I'm doubtful that they will get approval. I think BlackRock will get it. And I think that's going to bring tens, probably hundreds of billions of dollars into Bitcoin. And some of that's going to flow down into other coins as well.
Currently, numerous institutional investors, managing trillions of dollars, face barriers in directly investing in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin due to a challenging regulatory environment. However, BlackRock, a financial behemoth with assets under management totaling a staggering $9.42 trillion, as of June 30th, 2023, is poised to change this dynamic. Beyond its colossal financial influence, BlackRock holds significant sway in Washington, boasting an impressive 575-to-1 exchange-traded fund approval rate, according to Mark Yusko, a renowned hedge fund manager and the founder of Morgan Creek Capital Investments. The approval of BlackRock's ETF application by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is not a matter of if, but when. With this approval, Yusko anticipates a minimum influx of $30 billion into the cryptocurrency industry almost instantaneously. However, this figure is just the baseline in Yusko's projection. Yusko envisions the potential for the investment inflow into crypto to skyrocket into the realm of hundreds of billions. In his latest interview with CoinDesk on November 15th, Yusko delves into the inevitability of cryptocurrencies and digital assets, BlackRock's significant ETF applications, and their implications for the crypto market. He also touches on topics such as central bank digital currencies and the rise of Solana. Stay tuned for snippets from Yusko's insightful interview, offering valuable perspectives on the future of crypto investments. Don't forget to show your support by giving this video a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, and turning on post notifications for more engaging content. Thanks for joining us and enjoy the discussion with Mark Yusko.
I don't know that it's driving the crypto markets. I mean, look, stablecoins are here to stay. We are going to move to a digital world, whether the incumbents, financial services companies like it or not. Name a technology that came along that got critical mass that went away, right? Horse and buggy manufacturers didn't really like the automobile. The train companies don't really like airplanes. But I didn't take a horse and buggy or a train yesterday when I flew to New York. I flew on an airplane. So this isn't as inevitable as the internet. Phone companies didn't like the internet. They tried to pass laws to make it illegal. Imagine that. And Al Gore killed that bill. So he didn't invent the internet, but he certainly helped it. And look, stablecoins are a great way of transferring value quickly, efficiently, and without worrying about market price. And I don't know if you've ever thought about this. I think about it from time to time. Banks are closed more hours than they're open. The markets are closed more hours than they're open. And digital assets never sleep. I could transfer you USDC right now if I wanted to, if I could get to my phone, but I'm using my phone since I forgot my computer today. But so I don't know. It's a long-winded way of saying I don't think stablecoins are the real reason we're seeing some pretty meaningful pumps in a number of coins. I think it's momentum, it's the halving cycle, it's the ETF. BlackRock will get it. And I think that's going to bring tens, probably hundreds of billions of dollars into Bitcoin. And some of that's going to flow down into other coins as well. The incumbents would love if the world went to CBDCs. There was a big announcement this morning that Apollo and a bunch of others are doing this thing to help with the asset management business with JP Morgan and Avalanche. And okay, great, but that's a private chain. JP Morgan would love you to use a private chain. CBDCs, the reason I don't mention CBDCs is I think they're pure evil. I think they're one of the most heinous things you can imagine. Imagine that the guy in charge of the BLS, I'm sure you've seen Augustin, he's a kind of scary guy. And he says, of course, we should control how you spend your money, when you spend your money, if you be allowed to spend your money. Programmable money that a government can control is a very scary thing. Open and free markets are less scary to me. So I like stable coins. I like digital assets. I love Bitcoin. Look, fiat isn't going away overnight. Now, it will eventually go away. I mean, we've had one money for 5,000 years. Money is an asset that exists in the absence of a liability. That's gold. Gold has been money for most of human history. And it's the only thing that you can take a single ounce from Cleopatra's time to a suit of armor to a zoot suit in the 20s to Savile Row today, and you exchange that ounce and you get a fine person's suit. It's been a perfect store of value. There have been 775 paper currencies, all kinds of countries all around the world over the millennia, and 3/4 of them no longer exist. All the others are down 97 to 99.99999%. And all of them will eventually go to zero because governments can't help themselves. They just spend their way into oblivion, and their currencies have to be devalued because that's the only way out. So digital assets, the interesting thing about them is, take Bitcoin. It's digital gold. It's equally scarce. Stock to flow ratio is fantastic. And it's more divisible and more portable. So I believe it will replace gold as the base layer of money. All money sits on top of gold. Central banks own gold. They issue debt, issue currency on top of that. That's the way the world works. I think Bitcoin replaces that. Fiat's not going to go down without a fight. And to your point, they're going to try to digitize it and make it centralized. But centralized is the opposite of what we all want, which is decentralized. And we will live in a decentralized world in the future. It's just going to take a while. I'm taking full credit, 100% credit. I made this happen. So in September, early September, I made a comment on a show that Solana had vaporized transactions during the last cycle. Oh my God, the community went ballistic. They were so mad. Like, we never rolled back transactions. I said, I never said you rolled back transactions. I said, because of outages in the protocol, the transactions went into the ether and never got settled. And unless you entered that transaction, it never happened. Now, a couple people actually were positive and said, hey, let us help you understand this. This guy, Happy Pirate from the Netherlands, sat me down on a Zoom and walked me through all the changes that they've made. What I think is happening is a couple things. One, they did fix some of the problems, so that's a positive. Two, we had Breakpoint, and Breakpoint is always a pump fest, so that certainly is part of it. Three, we didn't see the FTX cash get sold. The bankruptcy trustee had threatened to sell all their Solana, and they haven't done that yet. That will put some pressure on at some point. And then actually, there's some building going on. One of the things that I love about right now is I've been to a bunch of events. I went to Permissionless, the ETH event, and I went to Bitcoin event, and I went to a Filecoin event, and they're down 80, 90% in terms of people. But the people who are left are the builders. So the speculators are gone, the gamblers are gone, the crypto bros and gals are gone. And what we have left are people who are building real things. That's super exciting. And if you think about history, the great companies are built in bear markets. They're not built in bull markets because capital flows too freely. You think about Breakpoint 2 years ago at 21, right? $1 million after parties, and the price hit $260. That was the peak, right? When you're spending $1 million on an after party, bad things happen after that. So when you have a nice, I went to a party at Bitcoin Miami this past year, and it was at a little taco shop after, renting out a big mansion on the water 2 years ago. So when you're down to that level, good things happen. I have to admit, we sold most of our Solana. We were very early investors, and I give Kyle all the credit. We invested in Multicoin, and they bought us a bunch of Solana. And so we probably one of the best investments I've ever had in my career on a multiple basis. I think we made about 1,000 times our money. But we did sell most of it, but we still have a decent amount, and probably hold it for a while.